Hello everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cats. We are live November 26, 2025, and this is This Week in Crypto. A little late getting out the video this week, but we are live streaming right here on Crypto Cats. If you're new here, make sure that you like and subscribe, ring the notification bell, do all that kind of stuff. But we're going to be talking about Thanksgiving time. Is this going to be a pump or dump going on here in crypto over the next few days and into next week? Of course, holidays are always a tricky time when it comes to the markets, but the good thing about crypto markets are they never shut down and they're worldwide. So holidays sometimes affect these things, but not all the time. So let's take a look here at the chart for Bitcoin for this week, November the 26th, the day before Thanksgiving. We have finally seen some sort of a rebound, and we are now sitting at 87,818 as of right now today. That is the price of Bitcoin. Now, I did predict this. If you will remember, I said that there's a great possibility that we could dump down to about 87,000, which is exactly what has happened here. And that we're sitting at right now, because this is a level of support or resistance depending on which side of it that you're on. So we actually did get down to about 80,000 right here is the $80,000 mark. And that particular day, this is the daily chart, by the way, that particular day we did have a rebound, and so we had a rejection of that back up into the 88,000 range. And so we pursued that for the next couple of days. Now, look, just a couple of days ago, this was the 23rd, which was Sunday. That's when it looked like a reversal started, because you see that we came up over the last candlestick, clearly reaching past that candlestick and even the one the day before. And we did close above the close of the day before's candlestick. We didn't quite close above the all-time high of the day before, but we did close above the opening of that 2 days before. So a good clear rejection of that. The next day, Monday, we saw a pattern that shot up even further above that. Over the last couple of days, a small retracement. So what we're seeing here, you guys, is, hey Tim, how you doing, bro? What we're seeing here, you guys, is a little bit of a consolidation right here. And what we're probably going to do is we're likely going to do one of two things. Either over the next day or two, and it may be difficult because of the holidays, not sure how much volume is going to be in the market. Sometimes it's helpful, sometimes it's hurtful. If I were going to say anything, I'm going to say that over the next couple of days, the volume's going to be slim and we're going to just trade sideways. After Thanksgiving, so likely into next week, we're going to see a testing of this level down here. It's going to come back down to about 86,000. Hey, it may even drop back down to 84 and retest that. But I believe all in one candlestick, like in the daily candlestick, that you're going to see that. And I think it's going to bounce back up, and then you're going to end up seeing a high that goes beyond this candle wick right here, which was the highest of the week, Monday the 24th. And I think that you're going to start to see a bit of a revival going on with Bitcoin in the major coins. Now, I would like to see, now we are live here. I would like to see a couple of things. I would like to see BTC, see if I can find it, if I can remember where it's at, the Bitcoin dominance chart. I always forget where to find it. If I can't find it, let me just explain it to you. If Bitcoin dominance ends up falling further, then what we could be seeing is the start of the altcoin season and the beginning of an unpegging from Bitcoin and the altcoins. And so the altcoins may start going up. Bitcoin may end up doing its own thing. So there's the possibility of that. Let's take a look at Ethereum on the daily chart, mirroring, not exactly, but almost exactly what Bitcoin is doing. It's sitting at right here at $29.45, $2,945 right now. Bit of consolidation level right here. Now, guys, I believe that eventually, when we hit on all of these crypto charts, this yellow line again, at some point it's going to retest this. What that is the SMA, the simple moving average, the 50, which is in this case the daily chart, so the 50-day moving average. I believe that it's going to retest that. But even more so when it goes to the weekly charts. You see here a little bit of difference. You see a little bit of movement up toward that SMA 50 there on Ethereum, which is $3,093. So we could see a bullish move up. It may take a few weeks to reach that point, but when it does, you guys, I believe that it's going to explode up, and that on a lot of crypto, you're going to begin to see all-time highs on things. So get ready for that. So is this going to be a Thanksgiving pump or dump? Honestly, my opinion is, looking at the charts, looking at the data, and understanding the patterns of the way that this stuff works, I don't think you're going to see either. I think that you're going to see a lot of trading sideways this week. It's what happens a lot of times during the holidays. It's neither buying or selling. It's just a lot of consolidation. It's a lot of stagnant motion. And then we will likely see next week, probably, if I were to guess, some more selling. That's why I said I think that, like Bitcoin and all this stuff, you're going to see it moving back down and retesting those lows. You get back to the Bitcoin chart here. So I said, I don't know if you can see here, I think you're going to see a retesting of this level of 83,004 right there. And it rests gently on the Fibonacci retracement level of this particular level here, which is a significant level of support, as you can see back here where my mouse is. All through the month of March, we saw testing that level and pretty much holding that level. And then even if you go back through history, you can see here that this whole level right here is a pretty good, strong level of support. Now, could it fall through that? And could we see lows like we haven't seen in the last year? Of course, we could go back down into the 70 level. My sentiment is, though, you guys, that it's not going to do that. I don't think that it will, at least not right now. I think that it is going to make a push, at least, for this 101, 102,000 level that is right here. And also, you look at certain things. You look at the RSI, which is the Relative Strength Index. Right down here, I've got the marker pulled up. And anytime that you see on the Relative Strength Index, let me pull up the daily for Bitcoin. Again, yeah. All right, so anytime that you see it go below this line, which is 30 on the Relative Strength Index, what that means is when it goes below this line is that it's oversold. Whatever the currency is, whatever you're looking at, it means it's oversold. Well, it's been oversold, Bitcoin, on the daily chart for several days, at least the last week. And now it's starting to rise back up to this level where it's at 30, which is pretty much bottom of the barrel. Obviously, if it gets above 70, which is this line right here, I'm look at the bottom of your screen there. That means it's overbought. That means that euphoria has kicked in and FOMO, and people are just FOMOing into this thing. And so that's not what we're seeing right now. Obviously, we're seeing a chart that really on the dailies is oversold, you guys. So that's another clue, another indicator that we're probably going to see some sort of rebound. Now, will it just shoot off into the moon? I don't think so. Not yet. We've got a long way to go. You know, one thing that you need to remember in not just crypto, but anything, any assets that you're trading, stocks, whatever, is that assets always take the elevator down, but the stairs up. And what I mean by that is usually when you see a downward motion, when you see things depreciating, they go quick. People begin to fear, and fear overtakes everything else. That fear kicks in and people just begin to sell their shares. They begin to fear a bear market. They get rid of things. But for them to step back in and begin to buy back, it takes a little bit longer. They take the stairs up. It takes a little longer to reach that point. So just remember that you know, we didn't have all these losses overnight. They didn't kick in overnight. And so they're not going to be rebuilt overnight. It's going to take a little while. Honestly, you guys, looking at even the Christmas season that we're coming into the holidays, I think that it's going to take at least a month or two, more than likely, to reach all-time highs again with Bitcoin. Could be wrong. This is not financial advice, of course, but just looking at these things, it's very likely that we will probably take a couple of months for Bitcoin, some of the majors anyway. However, obviously, altcoins right now, there's specific altcoins. Monad just got launched, and it did, I believe it was like 40% in a day, something like that, if I heard that right. Don't quote me on that. You know, there's some other altcoins that have done pretty well. Dash, we've been talking about Dash. It's been pretty crazy ride on that. And, you know, so there are some cryptocurrencies out right now that are just unpegged from everything else. And there's always going to be that. So there's always that side of it. You never know exactly what can happen. You can put as many charts out there as you want, but there's always that chance. There's always those fundamentals. There's all the entirety of the market. There's a lot of different things to look at. So that's why it's very important to make wise financial decisions. And as I always say, pray into it. Pray into and ask the Lord what He wants you to do with His money, right? So hopefully that this was helpful to you guys today. Is it a pump or dump for Thanksgiving? Let me know in the comments. Also check out our X account at CryptoCats_real. Link is in the description. Also our Coinbase referral link. If you want to sign up for Coinbase and do some simple trading on there, maybe you just need some stable coins to put your assets into, check out Coinbase. It's one of the largest markets for cryptocurrency trading, one of the largest platforms, obviously. And they're getting ready to go to a new version. I believe it's a 2.0 version. So check out Coinbase. Links in the description. Till next time, you guys, God bless.